New commercial cleaning from top brands like Clorox, Zep, and Rubbermaid. And in larger sizes, so you can take on any cleaning job knowing you have the quantity you need. Shop Lowe'sForPros.com and have your items delivered or pick up in store. Lowe's, the new home for pros. U.S. only.
A new year comes with new hope, new optimism, especially after all the stress of 2020. It's time to start fresh and look ahead. At International Diamond Center, we're excited to be part of your special moments in the new year. We've expanded our selection for 2021. Our diamond inventory has never been better. All sizes, all shapes, real, natural, precious diamonds at the best direct importer prices. And it doesn't stop there. We're showcasing all the new styles and trends in engagement rings and fashion jewelry, inspired and created by the world's premier designers. No one has more fashion-forward jewelry than IDC. Plus, our gold jewelry and gold bullion selection is tripled, and we're the #1 retailer of pre-owned Rolex timepieces. So as you look ahead and plan for a new year with only good surprises, remember International Diamond Center. Locally owned, internationally connected. Now with 9 Florida locations, from Gainesville to the Treasure Coast and along the I-4 corridor. Let IDC help you celebrate what matters most in the new year. 4 Orlando locations and online at shopidc.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
WYGM Orlando. WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach Orlando. This is FM 96.9, The Game.
The Yankees gonna talk some rocket sports down the I-4 corridor. So get your motor running. Time to put the pedal to the floor. It's loud and live and local. Oh, time for open mic.
TGIF, everybody, we are loud, live, and local in Orlando every morning, 6 to 9 a.m. So many ways to listen to us. FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, HD 101.1-2. You can download that free iHeartRadio app and listen to us globally. You can also listen on your smart speaker. If you don't hear us live, you can find us on podcast. Just go to 969thegame.com/podcast. Look for Open Mic on Demand. That's our entire show. You can also watch us on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Just go to YouTube right now, search for the Open Mic live stream, and you will be able to see our beautiful faces. Doing a little radio magic for you this morning. Welcome to Open Mic. I'm Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. Joined, as always, by the deceptive intellect, one Adam Reardon, and also Austin Pastolka. We call him the Sultan of Sound.
Yeah, that's right, Mike, and I gotta tell you, put a lapdog in a microwave, because it's about to get hot.
Oh, God. Animal cruelty.
What was that? Here, I've got a new drop, and I'm so excited for it. This is from a play-by-play guy, a high schooler.
Former play-by-play guy.
No, he's in high school.
Put a lapdog in the microwave. Somebody's getting hot.
A lapdog?
Lapdog in a microwave. Somebody's getting hot.
Yeah, hot, like as in fire, as in fired.
Put a lapdog in a microwave. Wow. We had to make a drop out of the meathead coach of the Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell, biting kneecaps. We got to make a drop out of that at some point. So we will get to all of that. We have a lot to talk about today. Obviously, we have the conference championship weekend in the NFL. Tampa Bay all the way. Can Tom Brady lead the Bucs to the Super Bowl over the Packers this weekend? The Buffalo Bills taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. That is the other game. Of course, you can listen to the Bucs game right here on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740. We are the home of the Buccaneers. We also are the home of your chance to win $1,000 every morning, twice a morning. In fact, we call it the Dash for Cash. So make an appointment 7:10 a.m. this morning, 8:10 a.m. this morning. You have a chance to win $1,000 right here on Open Mic. It's the Dash for Cash presented by Miracle Toyota, where every day is a miracle. Check them out online at miracletoyota.com. All right, Jamie Say will do the football picks later in the show, but we like to begin every morning with an Open Mic early morning inspirational quote of the day. This comes from Maria Edgeworth. I don't know who that is, but I like the quote, and the quote is this: if we take care of the moments, the years will take care of themselves, end quote.
I would say that that's sort of akin to, well, this isn't a quote, I'm just saying this, but listen, if you build a house brick by brick, you know, you can think about building a house, and that's kind of a large undertaking, right? That's pretty overwhelming. But if you think about just laying one brick down, you can do that. I can do that. I don't feel like I could build a house, but if I just laid it brick by brick, brick by brick, it will take care of itself. So focus on the little things, and then the big things, therefore, take care of themselves.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. One day at a time.
That's right.
It's all in a
One
state
week
of
at a
mind.
time. One game at a time. Yeah. What's Josh Heupel always say? Just go 1-0.
That's right.
We just want to go 1-0.
Yeah, you're not trying to go undefeated for the season. You're just trying to go undefeated for the game.
Yeah. We just quoted the great Josh Heupel. Maybe we'll use one of
Piano. I need piano. We're quoting the great Josh Heupel.
As
Let's
he
go
once said,
1-0.
if you're juiceless, you're useless.
That's right.
Might
We
be
just want
his
to go.
best one ever.
Yeah. We
Also-
just want to go. What?
Also, his quote today is like, "Hey, why is this office open? What's going on down here?"
Can I be the AD too? Yeah. All right, let's start with that. As I wrote in my column in today's Orlando Sentinel, which I believe you can read right now at orlandosentinel.com.
Cheap plug.
There you go. Thank you. Danny White often told us over the years that being the athletic director at the University of Central Florida was, quote, the best AD job in America. He made us believe that building something at up-and-coming UCF was more worthwhile. It was more exciting than being an AD at some downtrodden, middle-of-the-pack, mundane Power 5 program. Well, on Thursday, White accepted a job at one of the most distressed, downtrodden programs in all of the Power 5. He took the Tennessee job. The Volunteers obviously are in disarray. They're under NCAA investigation. They just fired Jeremy Pruitt, their football coach. They just forced out Philip Fulmer, their AD. There is a lot of NCAA recruiting violations. All right, so as I wrote, does this mean White is just like all the other coaches and ADs out there who talk a good game but then use UCF as a stepping stone job? I don't think that's it. On the surface, it appears that way. I understand that. It looks like Danny White's just, okay, I got a high-paying job at Tennessee, 5 years, a contract that's going to pay me more than any other AD in the SEC, probably about $2 million a year. I understand on the surface it looks like a money grab, but I don't think that's what this is. Danny White has had other chances to leave UCF. Southern Cal made a run at him. Georgia made overtures to him. Ole Miss. I mean, he's had a bunch of other offers. He always turned them down. He always said, UCF, this is the place. This is a great job because we're up and coming. Here's what I think happened, and you guys can agree or disagree with me. I think Danny White finally reached the realization, as much as he talked about UCF and we can get to that next level, we can get to the playoff, all of this. I think he reached the realization it's not going to happen. I think he got tired of beating his head against the wall, banging the drum. It let us in the playoff, all of that. He saw his own team, his own program for 2 years not even get a sniff of the playoff, even though they were unbeaten. He saw Cincinnati not get a sniff of the playoff this year, even though they were unbeaten. And I think Danny White realized, you know what? I've done all I can do at UCF. We've gone to New Year's Six bowl games. Our basketball team almost beat Duke in the NCAA tournament a couple of years ago. I've done all I can do. I'm going to go somewhere else now and try to resurrect a moribund program, because when UCF took over, coming off that 0-12 season, they were a dumpster fire. And he resurrected the program, and I think he sees, you know what, I have a chance to do that at a bigger level at Tennessee. My thoughts. Or do you think it was a money grab?
Well, I think a bit of a money grab. I'll disagree with you on this point that we're closer to a playoff today than we were 6 months ago. You know why? Because the SEC coaches, now a conference of which he is an athletic director, are asking for a playoff. They want playoff expansion. So we're closer to that. We're closer to UCF actually having a chance to play for a national championship. But I also do believe this, that with all due respect to UCF, and of course Danny White's going to say the things that he said while he was here, it's not the same thing. They're not the same jobs. They can't afford to pay the same amount of money. Well,
he was Danny White, believe it or not, was making more money at UCF. He was making over $1 million. He was making more than Scott Strickland makes as the AD at Florida. So again, they were paying the same amount of money. Now, were they paying $2 million a year, which is what Tennessee is going to pay him? No, but he was making more than probably half of the SEC ADs, but go ahead.
As you mentioned, though, he's turned down some other jobs. Maybe some other jobs that weren't willing to pay more. So now this one pays more, therefore the money grab. Listen. When somebody doubles your salary, listen. I get that we're all fans of a school or a team. If somebody doubles your salary and you've worked there and you've done a good job and you actually kind of like your job, you're going to, at the very least, entertain that offer. And I would venture to guess that, and look, we all work for this radio station. If there was another sports station across town and they said, we're going to double what it is that you make.
No way. I'm loyal. No way would I do that.
Let me say.
Totally. Me too.
You would at least read the email. I would say that. All of us would. Anybody would. Anybody would.
I don't blame Danny White for taking this job. If I were him, I would take the job too, because the fact of the matter is he has taken UCF as far as he can take them. Maybe in 3 or 4 years, if there's a expanded playoff, maybe they could get into the playoffs then. But right now, he's taking UCF as far as he can take them. And guess what? UCF's not at the top of the heap in the group of 5 anymore. Maybe this was the best time for him to go, because fans are starting to grumble a little bit. Josh Heupel, they lost 4 games, or what they lose this year? They lost 4 games this year. It's time for they're going downhill. Maybe Danny White said, you know what? I've done all I can do. The fans are starting to grumble and complain, so I'll just go somewhere else and be a rock star there.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
I think it's all right. Everybody's kind of right. I think there is enough in all of these little buckets of reasoning, if you will, that if you look in each bucket, you can go, all right, I see that. Look at he's capped out here at UCF and what you can do. He's got the basketball team to the NCAA tournament. He had the football team undefeated. Really, if you're upset today as a UCF fan, I'd almost look at you and go, what for? I get it that he's moved on, but sometimes can't you be happy for people that have come to you, delivered what they've delivered?
No, because I want him to continue to deliver for me.
Well, listen, you're a startup company, right? And the guy's come in, he's done great in sales, and guess what? Amazon came to that guy and offered him a job. And that's what happens in business. It happens in life. It happens in everything. So for fans that are upset with Danny White today, I would say, instead, why don't you turn around and look at what he helped deliver to UCF and be a little bit more appreciative.
Austin's right, though. This is a major blow to UCF's athletic program. Not because he led or he hired the coaches that led UCF to undefeated seasons. Because Danny White, his major strength was raising money. And right now, everybody needs money, but UCF, a group of 5 program, especially needs money. We'll get into more of this story as the show progresses. We'll get into some candidates I think should get a look at the job. Also,
Tony
we're going
Baselli.
No, Tony Baselli does not deserve. Mark Daniels, I think, deserves the job. We'll talk about that later in the show. But next, put on your thinking caps. Clever and clairvoyant headlines coming your way on Open Mic.
We'll gladly take the kind that jingles, but we'd prefer the kind that folds, please.
All right, our spontaneous text question of the day.
Spontaneous text question of the day.
Actually, it's our non-spontaneous text question. We do it every Friday. Clever and clairvoyant headlines. You know the game. Come up with some clever, clairvoyant headlines for the sports weekend. Obviously, it's NFC Championship weekend or NFL Championship weekend with the conference championship games. So you can do that. You can do something with Danny White and the Tennessee Volunteers if you want. Any sort of clever, clairvoyant headline. Austin, have you come up with yours? Have you done your homework?
So I've had to workshop this one a little bit. It's got potential. Okay.
Oh God! What, you don't have it done?
What do you mean? I've been doing the FCC training. I've had a lot on my plate this morning. All right, thinking of a fake headline.
Yeah, FCC training. That has nothing to do with the show. But go ahead with your.
You're right. It has nothing to do with the show. It just keeps me on it. All right, here we go. Green Bay Pickers pick off Tom Brady in NFC Championship.
Buzz yourself.
I know it was not good. It was.
That's just terrible.
How about old man Tom can't beat old man Winter?
That one's not as bad.
That one's okay. Come on.
Not as bad.
It doesn't get a ding though.
Well, I mean, it sure as hell doesn't give a buzz.
Adam, I know you haven't done your homework.
Well, here's one I came up with in the car. Okay. Staying and playing at home for the Super Bowl. Bucks beat Packers.
Staying and playing at home. Oh, okay.
Give him a ding. Give him a ding.
Yeah, my other ones are so bad that even that one, that one right there by comparison looks good. Like, okay.
Okay, how about this one? Buffalo Bill, and then in parentheses, put an S in parentheses. Buffalo Bills ride again, except this time they're playing to win.
There you go. That's good. Classic. Buffalo Bill rides again. Yeah, that's good.
How about Buffalo headed to Super Bowl? These Bills won't be vetoed.
Oh, okay.
Taking a little
political reference. That's good.
Here's another political reference. Hail to the Chiefs. KC inaugurated for second Super Bowl term.
Okay. That one's stretching a little bit more. You know, but I like it.
All right, here's one for your Packers. The Big Cheese puts the big squeeze on the Bucks.
It's a good rhyme.
Cheese heads.
Yep, that's good. That one's good. I like that one.
All right. Those are our clever and clairvoyant headlines. We want yours. You can text them in to 50857. I want some Danny White Tennessee headlines, please. Text those in to 50857 as well. Up next, speaking of Danny White, our thought-provoking daily poll. What is the real reason Danny White left UCF for Tennessee? That's next on Open Mic.
Whether you're
Welcome back to Open Mic. I'm Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. Give us a call, 407-916-8255. I forgot to call up the text line. Let me call up the text line real quick. I want to see if we have any clever and clairvoyant headlines on our text line. Let me see here.
It's gonna be hard to beat. Old Man Winter beats Old Man Tom, or whatever I said.
It's just terrible. Your headlines are just so bad.
But here's the deal, Mike. I'm a much better writer, like as a post writer, rather than a headline writer. So if I could have someone to write my headlines for me, it would be a match made in heaven.
You mean like I usually do?
What? No. What?
Huh?
We're not. What? What are you talking about, Mike?
All right, here we go. Rocky Top has golden arches. White flies on next departure. Yeah, I don't get that.
I got really confused in there. Something about McDonald's?
Yeah. Big Macs or cash? White leaves in a dash.
Big Mac. Oh, okay, I got it. Took me a minute.
Get it, the McDonald's.
Tennessee McDonald's thing.
Yeah.
I know.
Vols
but it's
recognize UCF's national title by Danny White. Bucks pirate a win in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Ooh.
It's good, but I'm buzzing it.
What do you mean you're buzzing
I'm a Packers fan, and it sure as hell ain't happening. I'm wearing my Packers jersey today.
When he says he's wearing his Packers jersey, by the way, and you can see it on the live stream, whichever way you're viewing it, it literally says, it says Pistol 1.
That was my nickname in high school.
Number 72.
That was also my high school football number.
So Chris Doring coached me up on this, like, when I was in my 20s, and I wore my Miami Hurricane uniform, like jersey, and he's like, dude, nothing's more weird than an adult who wears the uniform.
I agree. I've always said
what?
Yeah.
I've always said, like, once you reach, Austin, though, is not quite an adult. I've always said once you reach the age of 30, you can't wear another man's uniform.
Well, I'm not wearing another band's uniform. I'm wearing mine.
Yeah, because Lord knows you played for the Packers at one time, and they called you Pistol 1. Here comes Pistol 1.
Yeah. So, I totally agree with that. But do you agree if you're in your 20s, you can or no?
Yeah, I guess 20. I would say 25. Like once you get in your late 20s, now it's like time to start turning the page on, your.
I get plus 1 year.
What are you, 26?
26. I'm riding the line.
This is probably, then let's just call this the last year Pistol 1 ever makes it out of the closet.
Oh,
or Dirty Hamper, which is what I'm assuming it really came out of. Not hung up in the closet.
All right, how about this one? Kansas City barbecues the Bills. Kansas City barbecue. See, what would be better there would be Kansas City whips up some barbecued buffalo.
That is much better. That is much better.
Or something like that. Kansas City grills some barbecued buffalo, something like that. Jacksonville's a joke for dropping Open Mic.
I don't. Does that count as a headline, or is that just a comment?
That's the full story right there.
Yeah.
Brady deflates Packers. Hopes bye Brady. Brady deflates Packers is the.
Yeah, that one. Bye Brady, or not. Brady deflates Packers is a good headline.
All right, keep those coming in, 50857. All right, real quick, we have a couple of polls about Danny White leaving UCF for Tennessee. All right, why don't you read, save the Mark Daniels one, but read the two polls that we have, Austin, on UCF.
Okay, so we have the thought-provoking daily poll, which is, what is the main reason athletics director Danny White is leaving UCF for Tennessee? Is it for more money? It's a better job? It's a new challenge? Or SEC? It just means more. And then the other one, Supplemental poll number 1, should Danny White's first move as the new AD of the Vols be to schedule a home-and-home series with UCF? Yes or no?
Absolutely. Let's talk about that one, all right? We've talked about the other one some, but let's talk about that one. Absolutely. Danny White, first of all, he's leaving UCF, all right? He said that UCF was the best AD job in America, blah, 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 and now he's leaving UCF, all right? So if it's the best AD job in America, then why is he leaving it, first of all? But he is. We understand that that's what coaches and administrators say. They say what they have to say to appease their fan base. We understand that, all right? So I'm not blaming Danny White for leaving. I would leave too. But he's been howling and screaming for years about the inequity of college football scheduling and how UCF, they've been a consistent winner. Why should they have to do 2-for-1s with these Power 5 programs when they're just as good and they have just as much name recognition as some of these other Power 5 programs? Well, guess what? He's going to a down-and-out Tennessee football program. UCF's football program been much more successful than Tennessee over the last dozen years. All right, UCF's been to 3 New Year's Six bowl games in the last 7 years. Tennessee's been to none. All right, Tennessee's been to none. So absolutely, he should go get up there. First thing he should do after he hires a new football coach is to schedule home and home with UCF.
I could not disagree with you more.
Why?
Because Danny White is not a secret agent that has infiltrated the Power 5. Ooh, Danny White, the UCF guy, is now in the SEC. Time to get his fingers all up in there and control the scheduling. Like, he's not that. He's now the AD for Tennessee. What good does getting beat by a non-Power 5 school do for Tennessee? It does nothing for them.
First of all, who's to say he's going to get beat? Maybe he hires a football coach Danny White's pretty good at hiring football coaches. That's probably one of the reasons Tennessee hired him, because they've hired some bad football coaches. Danny White's pretty good at hiring football coaches. And plus, you said he's not a secret agent for UCF. Well, read his statement on the way out the door yesterday. I will always be a UCF fan. That's what he said. All right, if you're a UCF fan, if you'll always be a UCF fan, then do UCF a favor and schedule home and home.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, this is sort of like if you are a guy who says, listen, I'm going to get into politics so I can change the way things are. I'm going to, listen, I'm going to go in there. I'm the little guy. I'm going to get one of these jobs in Congress where I can help my constituents. I can help the people of college football land. He is now in that position. All the things that he was on his soapbox, all the platform that he had at UCF about these teams playing each other, willing to do home and homes and whatnot. So now he's gotten a job in which he can go to UCF, he can go to Memphis, he can go to Memphis, which is in the state of Tennessee, by the way. Yeah. He can go to one of these other schools, and he talked the talk. Now he's in a position to walk that walk.
Bingo.
You know what happens to all those politicians that are young?
They go there and they take the money.
They take their money and they forget about their constituents. Guess what? It'll happen again.
I have more faith in Danny White than that. I have more faith in Danny White. I think he believes what he preaches. I think he will schedule a home and home with UCF. And then Memphis. Yeah, I think he will. Adam's right. He can invoke change now. He's a big-time AD. He makes more money than any AD in the SEC.
Make college football great again.
I'm back in.
How do you think Scott Strickland feels about Danny White making double his salary?
I'll say this, that Scott Strickland's probably walking into a different office this morning going, wait a minute, hold on now. Hold on a second.
All right, go vote on our thought-provoking daily poll, our supplemental polls all of our polls at 96.9 The Game. All right, right around the corner, the new Detroit Lions coach is ready to bite some kneecaps. I'll explain next on Open Mic. twice during our show, we give you, our listener, our beloved listener, we give you a chance at $1,000 twice a show. First chance coming up at 7:10 a.m. this morning, and then at 8:10 a.m. So be listening. Make an appointment. Just make an appointment for those 2 times, 7:10 a.m., 8:10 a.m., because we want you to win $1,000. If you win $1,000, I don't know how this works, but if one of our listeners wins $1,000, somehow I think Brandon Kravitz gets a bonus or something. All right.
Oh, don't tell him that. People are going to stop texting in.
I think it should be like when you're playing golf and somebody hits a hole-in-one in your group, they got to buy you drinks. They buy everybody drinks. So yeah, if you win $1,000 and you're listening to this show, you got to buy the 3 of us a drink.
Yeah. We call it the Dash for Cash, presented by Miracle Toyota, where every day is a miracle. Check them out online at miracletoyota.com. All right, some headlines we have. All right, here's one you can ding. Mr. Rogers cancels the Brady Bunch.
Beautiful.
Man,
what a headline.
So
What about this one? Brady cuts the cheese as Rogers feels the freeze.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm down with that.
Bucks make Rodgers walk the plank in blowout win.
We get it. No, we get it.
Oh,
every
the
single
pirate
week.
one? Yeah, I know.
Well, they walk the plank. Whoever the Bucks are playing, walk the plank every week. Blah, 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 blah.
What was that? Oh, blah, blah, blah. What was that?
It's like the blah blah blah, but with less.
Oh, blah, blah,
It was like the blah, blah, blah with a little tequila mixed in there.
All right, here's another one. In the Battle of the Bays, the Bucks stay afloat on the voyage back home to the Super Bowl. Yeah, dang it!
It's good. It's a good headline. It's a little long.
That sounds like
good.
the first page of like a book that had Fabio on the front with like a ruffled shirt. The voyage back.
Here's one that has bye and then bye 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 and then it has BY Rady bye Rady. Nah.
That one's rough, man.
Yeah. All right. Keep those coming in, 50857. I still want some Danny White to Tennessee headlines, all right? So text those into 50857. All right, so Austin Pastolka spends way too much time on the internet and on TikTok. We know that. Well, he actually did something useful last night. He sent me this clip from TikTok, which unfortunately I believe is where I think college football is going with the new name and likeness deals that are being worked out. All right, Austin, set up the clip you sent me last night and then play it.
So this is someone on TikTok who just talks about sports a whole lot, and he talked about this website where it's like Kickstarter, but for college
All right, what's
recruits.
what's Kickstarter?
Kickstarter is where someone says, I want to create a project. I need people to, and I don't have anyone who's going to pay me. Throw in $5-10 and you'll get a little bit of something. So a lot of people back a project in order to get the project done. Is kind of the idea behind Kickstarter. Okay. So here's the
grassroots investment.
Yes, very much so.
On Kickstarter, if you invest, do you if they make a profit, do you get some money back or not?
No, you get the product. And then if you donate a
they
certain
give you like a
amount,
shirt.
so it depends
on a prize.
It depends on each individual Kickstarter campaign. So like, say it's for a movie and you donate $1,000, they'll say, all right, for $1,000 you get a producer credit or something like that. So that's kind of the idea. Okay. So this is from @SpawnHour on TikTok.
MVNM is a website that allows you to pay college players to go to a school that you want them to go to. Think of it like Kickstarter, but for college football recruiting. Let's say I'm an Ohio State fan and I want Quinn Ewers to go to Ohio State. I can throw in $50 into a pot that he would get only if he goes to Ohio State. If he doesn't go to Ohio State, then I get my money back. That means that the player either goes to the school that you want them to go to, or you get your money back, so you can't lose. To show you an example, again with Quinn Ewers, $3,500 have been given to him only if he goes to Texas A&M, $2,500 if he goes to Michigan State, and so on. Now the dollar totals aren't anything crazy yet, but this has been gaining a lot of traction recently, so I expect the pots to get pretty big soon. And yes, this is legal. Players will get the money after their college eligibility is done. However, it's soon going to be that the players will be allowed to get paid, and when that happens, they would get the money when they commit.
You know what? That's definitely going to happen. There is no question. I guess it is legal if they can get the money now after their eligibility is done. But if there is name and likeness, and this is what I feared would happen with name and likeness, and I know, Adam, you don't have a problem with this, but if this starts happening, college football, in my mind, is ruined. You're going to have players going to the highest bidder, and you know what that means. You know what that means. The most rabid fan bases will get the best players. And I realize some of that happens now, but if you have those big-time Alabama boosters, I mean, Alabama already gets the best recruits, but it won't even be close. You'll have the Alabama boosters bidding against the Ohio State boosters, bidding against the Nebraska boosters. Actually, Nebraska could probably be resurrected if this happens because of their fan base, and it's so rabid. So again, I just think this is awful for college football.
The reason why I've never had a problem with this is because on one segment. If we could rewind the program one or two segments ago, we're like, oh, this is scary for college football. They're going to be bidding. The highest dollar amount wins these athletes. Well, guess what? The highest dollar amount wins to athletic directors and coaches and facilities and all these other things that we're spending money on in college football and college sports. And now it just finally trickles down to the players, and this is where we go, oh, no, the sport's going to be ruined. Oh, my God, what are we going to do if these 18-year-olds get $3,500? It's going to ruin everything.
You know it's not going to be $3,500.
Listen, Danny White is going to make $2 million next year at Tennessee. He was just snatched away from UCF.
He's a professional.
Yeah,
he's a professional.
And these guys,
he's a professional.
These guys will own their own names and likenesses. And listen, Mike, if you want to donate $20,000 for Pistol One to go to Florida, and he's a bust. All right. Listen, I'm looking into is out of shape. I mean, this guy's going to be resting on his laurels here. Guess what? You look like a total idiot for spending $20,000 of your dollars on Pistol One. Again.
College is a place where you go to learn how to make money. It's not the place where you go to actually make money.
No,
all right,
that's where you're entirely wrong. Because
Why?
I, as a college student, made money doing the thing that I was getting my degree in while I was at college. I was a journalist while I was in college getting my journalism degree.
Oh, really?
What's the difference?
Did you get a while you were in journalism school and working in journalism? Did you get a free college education?
I did.
You get room and board? Did you get room and board? Did you get your rent paid for? Did you get about $5,000 on top of that for a full cost scholarship? Did you get all of that?
So your problem is just that they make enough money? That they make more money than I did?
And here's the other part too: is there were 85,000 people, spending $120 to read what it was that Austin was writing.
Yeah, that's a big
at
difference.
That point. No, it's not. There was no SEC TV contracts, for Austin's writing back at the University of Nebraska,
Right.
the Big 8 TV contract.
Hey, if these guys are good enough, if these football and basketball players are good enough, they'll make their money. They'll go to their college. They'll learn their craft, which happens to be football or basketball. They'll learn their craft just like Austin learned his craft at Nebraska. And then when they get out of school, if they're good enough at their craft, then they'll make their money. That's what college is for. But you go to college, learn your craft. Yeah, get tutored, get educated, get trained by the best coaches out there, and then if you're good enough, then you go make your money in the National Football League or the NBA.
Except for when Austin is writing as a sophomore at the University of Nebraska, there isn't a guy across from him in another cubicle trying to break his legs while he's writing, or snap his fingers off, or jam him in the eye with a pencil to further his career. Listen, college football players go to college. Yes, you're right, and the goal is to make it to the NFL. Well, guess what? There's a heck of a lot more risk that guy doesn't make it to the NFL physically than, Mike, you ever faced, becoming a writer, when in Florida.
And then you use that free education you're getting, the free room and board, no student loans, no student debt, by the way, when you're out of college. You use that education. If you don't make it to the NFL, that's when you use it to go get a real job.
So, hold on. You're the same person that says, I'm totally fine with NFL players holding out because they put their heads and their lives on the line every single week. But these kids, these children,
Mike,
put their lives
Mike doesn't love the kid.
Mike
doesn't love the kids
just as much as these NFL players. And you're saying, no, they don't deserve that because guess what? They've got a roof over their head. Good enough.
I'll say it again. I've said it once and I'll say it again. And Austin Pistolka and Adam Reardon. Adam, you haven't put a kid through college yet. You will. All right. And so will Austin Pistolka. All right. When you put a kid through college, all right, you are spending about $200,000 to put your kid through college, and room and board and the books and the tuition. $200,000. All right, that's plenty of salary, in my opinion, to go to college. If somebody's giving you $200,000, all right, I think that's pretty good.
Mike, I know we got to go to a legal ID here, but I hate that argument. You want to know why? Because my parents didn't pay for college. You chose to pay for your daughter's college. And guess what? That's fine. Yeah. Great. Happy that you did that. That doesn't count for anything because of the choice that you made. Okay? That doesn't force anything on anyone else.
If it didn't count for anything, a lot of people wouldn't go to college if people didn't pay for it, Austin.
That's not what I said. Son of a gun.
Well, Mike,
these guys wouldn't be in college if the colleges weren't paying their education. They wouldn't go because a lot of athletes aren't getting into college based on their academic reputation. They're getting into college because they can play football. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in college.
Okay, so
they would never be able to be admitted into college.
Let's just end the charade then, okay, that these guys are in college, because you're right, Mike, that there's a lot of them that wouldn't even get into Florida or any of these other schools if it was based on just
I wouldn't
academic.
get into Florida today.
So let's just let them show up to play football for Florida. Florida's going to sell the TV contract. These guys are going to make a little money. We can end the charade that this is all about education for the children and all that other stuff. I've always been fine with that. Always been fine with that. And so at that point, if it doesn't work out with the money these guys have gotten paid, they can then turn around and go ahead and pay for their own college. And then everybody's happy, Mike.
Yeah. How about this? How about you have an NFL minor league system? Let the guys who want to go play for pay, let them go play for pay, which means all the best players, all the really good players would go play for pay. And then whoever wants to go to college gets their free education, and that's that.
Yeah, right.
And you know what? There'd still be 90,000 at Nebraska watching the kids who might not be quite as good at athletes as the one that went to the NFL minor league system. Might not be quite as good, but guess what? Nebraska fans are still going to pack into that stadium and watch them. They're not watching the stars because they're stars. They're watching them because they play for Nebraska. All right, let's pause for station identification.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, FM 96.9 The Game, the home of Orlando City Soccer Club.
What you reading there, honey?
It's very exciting stuff, you see. It's the front page of the internet.
Man, if there was ever a time for this drop.
Put a lapdog in the microwave. Somebody's getting hot.
Oh,
that's not off the top of your head, by the way. You thought about that. You wrote it down. You read it a couple times and said, "I'm going with that."
That guy should be fired for animal cruelty.
He's a high schooler, man.
Whatever.
Like, he's learning.
If he's a high schooler, I want the FBI to check his closet real fast because that guy's going to potentially do some serious damage at some point in the future.
It's time for the front page of the internet on YouTube's trending page today. Still going strong at number 1 is the inauguration of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, now with over 13 million views. In the number 2 spot is Billie Eilish's official music video for oh, wow. This is going to show how I don't know how to speak Spanish.
You should have proofread this.
I should have. Lo vas a olvidar? Listen, I apologize to anyone.
What is that? Is that another one of her depressing songs in a foreign language?
It's a duet with Rosalia. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm from Nebraska and I took French.
If you don't know how to pronounce something, just skip it.
7.7 million views for this song, ladies and gentlemen. Go listen to it and know how it's pronounced.
Boy, that public school Nebraska Spanish class really.
Never took Spanish.
Maybe you should have had your mom and dad pay for your education at a better school.
Oh, jeez. Happy birthday today to one of the most famous chefs of all time, Guy Fieri. How old is Guy Fieri today?
Is he more famous than Emerald?
He's this generation's Emerald.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go. If he's this generation's Emerald, I'm gonna go 37.
Oh, God, he's got to be at least 42.
He's 53.
Is he 53?
He is. He looks really good for 53. But I mean, he does dye. He's been dyeing his hair for like 20 years now. So
he's got something called trash can nachos at his restaurants.
Yeah.
That's right up your alley.
Yeah, it is. Let me tell you. Some good stuff there. Just released yesterday was the official poster for Godzilla vs. Kong, which is coming out March 26, 2021. Are you excited to see large, giant CG things fight each other?
Absolutely. I like movies like that.
Mike, that takes us back to the old creature feature days on Channel 44.
Oh, yeah, late at night,
That's
creature
right.
feature.
That's right. Mothra going to make a cameo appearance in this one, I'm sure.
I'm sure he will. That seems right up Godzilla's alley. And finally, we have Mark Cuban in the news because he said the F word during a live broadcast. And he knows that when you say the F word on live TV, you are immediately hit with a $15,000 fine. Well, that $15,000 fine gets donated to charity. So, Mark Cuban, on the broadcast, said the F word again, so he doubled his donation just because he said, whatever, I've got enough money to do whatever I want.
Good for him.
I love that guy.
He's awesome. And that is the front page of the internet today.
All right, real quick, new Detroit Lions coach Dan Campbell.
I love this.
Who was the interim coach for the Miami Dolphins for a while, and he is a real meathead. He's one of these lughead football coaches. But I have to admit, I laughed big time when he was introduced to the media yesterday. Play some of his introductory press conference.
I'm excited to be here beyond belief. I can sit up here and give you coach speak all day long. I can give you, hey, we're going to win this many games. I can't. None of that matters, and you guys don't want to hear it anyway. You've had enough of that. So excuse my language. This team is going to take on the identity of this city. This city's been down, and it found a way to get up. All right. And so this team's going to be built on, we're going to kick you in the teeth. And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off. All right. And we're going to stand up. And then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down. And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap. And we're going to get up, and then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing. I can't sit up here and guarantee wins and losses, but I'll guarantee you this, man, these guys are going to fight, and they're going to scratch and claw, and they're going to be something this city's proud of. I'm into exploiting weaknesses with our strengths. Look, I'm not a system guy as far as I'm going to come in with this. I've been through all of them. I've seen all of them. let's put our guys in the best position to have success. When I say that I want our team to take on the identity of this city, I mean it. And they're going to hear that from me, and it's going to mean something. It's going to mean something. It's going to mean that when you come into Detroit, you're going to leave beat up, all right? And I'm talking about as a team. I'm not saying when we get the tourists come in, people want to come in.
What the hell? The guy is a meathead. He is a big lughead. And again, do you get fired up when you hear him talking about biting kneecaps and taking a hunk?
Weirdos.
Absolutely.
What is this, pro wrestling? Or is this football?
Can I say something? And I don't want to go down this road today. It's Friday. We want to keep it lighthearted and stuff. But somebody's got to tell me why Eric Bieniemy can't get a job. And that dude is up there
because he doesn't bite kneecaps. That's why, Adam Reardon.
Eric Bieniemy has been the offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs and has been as successful as any assistant coach has been over a 3 to 4 year period. And he can't get a job, but then you give a guy who says, "I'm not gonna," you're gonna get beat up in this town because that's what this town's about. What was his interview like? His interview was like this: "You're gonna give me that job." Yeah. Ain't nobody else walking through that door.
Take a bite out of that kneecap.
Eric Bieniemy can't get a job, but that dude interviewed well.
Yeah.
I find that terribly hard to believe.
Not only did the big meathead get a job for talking about biting kneecaps, he got a 6-year contract.
Yeah, he did.
A 6-year contract.
Was it yesterday? Was I defending his 6-year contract last year? Yesterday?
Yes.
That was his?
Yeah.
I take it back. I take it all back. I take it all back. I don't want to give that guy a 6-minute contract, okay? Oh, my God. It's a matter of time before TMZ reports, Lions coach, accused of assaulting the parking attendant for not bringing his car fast enough.
All right, up next, we're going to hear some more sound, the official Sound Off segment coming your way next on Open Mic. But first, your chance at $1,000. That is the Sound Off music. Sound Off brought to you by Elixir Best Lunch in downtown Orlando. And guess what? Tomorrow night, Saturday night, they will be showing the McGregor versus Poirier fight on that huge 30-foot jumbo TV. No cover, by the way. Check them out at elixirorlando.com. What do we have, Austin?
Sound Off! Sound Off! A lot of times, storylines and pressure and those kind of comments are, good stuff for you guys to write about. But I think it starts with the mentality and the focus. Obviously, I put pressure on myself to perform every single week, but I don't feel any extra pressure going in this week.
Aaron Rodgers, quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, saying he hasn't had any pressure this week. It's just an NFC Championship game, chance to go to a Super Bowl and cement your legacy as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time against what is arguably, who is the greatest quarterback of all time. Mike, is he crazy? There's tons of pressure added this week, right?
Well, there's always tons of pressure when you're playing in a conference championship game for the chance to go to the Super Bowl. And you're right, his legacy is on the line. Tom Brady's legacy is already set. We know that he's the GOAT. Now, would he enhance it greatly by taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the Super Bowl in year one? Yes, but he's already got 6 Super Bowls. Aaron Rodgers has 1. There are a lot of quarterbacks who have 1 Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers is one of the great passers of this era. A lot of people think he might be the best pure athletic quarterback of ever. So he needs to win this Super Bowl. He needs to beat the Bucs to get to the Super Bowl and then win it, as you said, to cement his legacy. Absolutely. This is a huge game for Aaron Rodgers.
Sound off! Sound off!
We've really come on strong here the last 6 weeks. Played our best football of the year when we needed it the most. Gives us a great opportunity to go on the road again to beat one of the great football teams in the league. It's how it should be, The 2 best teams in a conference should be getting together and seeing how it all goes down. And I'm excited for it.
Tom Brady, quarterback.
Head coach. Yes, He is the head coach, GM, and quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right, all of the above. Saying, they've been on a roll. The Packers have been on a roll. This really is the best NFC Championship matchup we could hope for from when the playoffs started. Adam, my question for you is, what is it that the Buccaneers have to do to beat the Packers?
Run the football and stop the run.
Let's see. My plan to win would be to run the football, keep Aaron Rodgers off the field, and then when he's on the field, create turnovers, win the turnover battle.
Oh, God.
Win the turnover battle and then make one play on special teams.
Is that what it's supposed to? Did Pistolka really ask you to just like X and O what the?
No, I was expecting something like, we got to put it all on Brady. I wasn't expecting just straight up.
It's going to be like 11
cliches.
degrees. It's going to be 11 degrees out there. Okay, now listen, I don't want it to be on my quarterback in 11-degree weather. At Lambeau Field. No, I want it to be on the defense.
See, that's what I wanted. That's what I'm getting. See, I knew Adam could deliver.
There we go. Defense and special teams.
Yes.
Field position. Good old field position battle. Limit the mental mistakes.
It's a down and distance, baby. That's down and distance game.
Always.
Sound off! Sound off!
It's always good to be mentioned. And having an opportunity to pursue your dreams. And obviously, yes, I do want to be a head coach. But when it's all said and done with, my job is to make sure everything that we're doing right now is not to take away from the goals that we're trying to accomplish. The only thing that matters today, we got better. Okay, today we had an opportunity to make sure we can take care of situational football as far as short yardage, goal line, and our third down situations. So now it's time for us to go back in and chop wood, watch this tape, and get ready for the next day. We want to make sure that we're getting our guys ready. My own personal business, when all that's time to take care of itself, that will take care of itself.
That is Eric Bieniemy, who was rumored for numerous head coaching jobs in the NFL, but sadly didn't get one. Talking about, hey, we still got to go to work. I still have to go to work for this team right here. Mike, my question for you is, Eric Bieniemy, do you think there is still a chance he could be an NFL head coach soon?
What do we have? One job left.
Job left.
What job is left?
Ooh.
Do you know what job is left?
It's not the Jets. It's not the
is
Chargers.
it the Chargers hired a guy?
Chargers is filled. Yeah, the Chargers is
Had
filled.
Brandon Staley. Oh.
Do I think? Well, you look up what the job is. Do I think he's going to get a job? Well, it certainly appears not. Here's the thing. Adam was just wondering why he hasn't gotten the job. Do we know for sure that he wasn't offered some of these other jobs? Some head coaches, Eric Bieniemy, he might be like Josh McDaniel. He might be, I'm going to wait for the right job to come along. I don't want the Jets job, or I don't want the Eagles job. I want the right job. So do we know he hasn't been offered any jobs yet? If he hasn't, then I think Adam Reardon has a point. Why hasn't he been offered a job when some of these other meatheads are getting job offers? He is an offensive coordinator, although he doesn't call the plays. Hell, who knows? Maybe Doug Peterson being hired. Maybe that hurts Eric Bieniemy, even though Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl. He was the offensive coordinator under Andy Reid who didn't call the plays. And look at the Eagles' offense. So again,
the coaches the teams that needed coaches were the Eagles, that has filled a position.
Filled.
Chargers filled. Jaguars filled. Jets filled. Texans
not filled.
Okay, Lions and Falcons. The Falcons hired somebody?
Yeah. So the Texans, that's a pretty good, maybe that's the job.
Well, and think about this. I mean, right now, if Deshaun Watson's not very happy with what's going on there in Houston, maybe.
And he's, by the way, Deshaun Watson has mentioned Eric Bieniemy as a coach. Maybe that's what the Texans are waiting for.
Huh? Right. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense because I guess right now, technically, they can't have contact with Eric Bieniemy. He can't. I think the rule is that these guys can't interview until the playoffs are over.
He's interviewed already.
Oh.
No. He interviewed with the Jaguars.
Yeah. I don't know. Sticky situation.
We'll see.
So.
Sound off. That's the sound off for today.
That is the sound off. Straight ahead, Chip Wild, Daytona International Speedway, will join us next on Open Mic.
Open Mic. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
I'm sorry. Extremely sorry.
It is racing season right around the corner, and we are in the Mecca of racing here in Central Florida, Daytona International Speedway. Obviously, the Mecca of speed. That is the capital of racing. We've got the Rolex 24 coming up at Daytona. Of course, the Daytona 500 coming up on February 14th. What is that? February 14th is the Daytona 500. We got all sorts of stuff coming up. Let's welcome in the president of the Mecca of Speed, the president of Daytona International Speedway, Chip Weil, who is a friend of the show. Chip, thanks for joining us this morning.
What's going on? It's great to talk to you.
We love racing season. Obviously, this is the biggest time of year for racing in Central Florida with what's going on at Daytona. All right, let's start with the Rolex 24. That's coming up next week. Give us a little preview of that.
Well, actually, race cars on the racetrack today. We moved the Roar before the Rolex 24 to this weekend. Cars are on track in about an hour and a half, and that'll be the first time they see action in 2021. So they'll spend the next couple of days tweaking their cars, making sure that they're ready for next week's Rolex 24. Actually, we are having events this weekend and Fans in the Stands, so people want to come out today and check out practice. Tickets are $15 tomorrow. Tickets are $20. There is an hour and 45-minute race, the Scouts of America 145 tomorrow. And then Sunday, a little bit of a change from previous years, or a huge change, in fact. There's going to be a 100-minute race this Sunday to set the field for next Saturday's Rolex 24 at Daytona.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which will be a really unique change. Moving the Roar to the weekend before the Rolex 24 certainly helped the teams during the pandemic, but gave us an opportunity to kind of shake it up a bit. So we'll take a couple days off, and then we'll be back next Thursday with practice, and then Friday we'll have the BMW Endurance Challenge, which is a 4-hour event, and then Saturday at 3:40, teams will take the green flag on a twice-around-the-clock race to see who gets one of those beautiful Rolex Cosmograph Daytonas. It's going to be an awesome, awesome weekend out here at the Speedway.
By the way, for tickets to the Rolex 24, all of the activities around that, the races around that, Daytona 500, everything, you go to DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com. That's DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com. Talk about the change in the NASCAR schedule this year and how that's going to affect Daytona. Obviously, we're going to have another road race in Daytona, right?
Yeah, just like last year, obviously we're having to evaluate state by state where we have events, and is it safe to be able to take the industry there, and are the state regulations such that we just can't make it work? And unfortunately for the fans in California, we just couldn't figure out how to take the industry out there safely. So luckily for us, we get another race at the weekend after the Daytona 500, but it won't be just on the high banks of the Daytona International Speedway. It'll be in our famed road course, like they saw last summer. So 3 days of action out here. We'll welcome fans back to all 3 days. So the trucks will race Friday night under the lights. Saturday, the Xfinity Series will be in action, and then Sunday, the NASCAR Cup Series stars will roar around our 3.61-mile road course. So it's a little bit different than the road course we're running with IMSA cars. We added that chicane coming out of Turn 4, so it added a couple tenths of a mile to the racetrack. But certainly, the complexity of that racetrack is different than the ones that they'll run around this weekend.
Chip, Daytona International Speedway, obviously, just a massive facility, all right? During a pandemic, I would imagine that is a perfect place to hold sporting events because it's so massive and because you can really social distance in there, right?
Yeah, we've been really fortunate, as you know, to be able to welcome fans back to the racetrack since July of last year, and we've gotten pretty good at it. To your point, the facility lends itself to keeping people socially distant, and we'll do that throughout your visit. We'll require you to wear a mask throughout your visit as well. We'll take your temperature. We'll give you a 2-ounce bottle of hand sanitizer as you walk through the gates. we've gotten really good at cashless payment and obviously mobile ticket options, things that we've been talking about for a long time, but didn't really want to pull the trigger on, worried about what our consumer would do. But this gave us really no choice. And I'll tell you, the feedback we've gotten from all these things, these technologies that we've been able to implement has been really good. So a couple of good things that have come out of the pandemic, that's for sure.
Chip, we had Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on the show a couple days ago. I really like that guy. Is he one of the most accommodating drivers out there?
I've known Ricky his whole career. He's actually a really good friend of mine, and he is as genuine as they come. He's a racer through and through. He spends a lot of time in the sprint car world. He has a team that he owns and invests in young drivers. He's a really great guy, very, very down to earth, and got a ton of talent. He's won the Coke Zero Sugar 400 here at Daytona. He's a heck of a plate racer. Sat on the pole last year for the Daytona 500. He didn't have a great season last year, and I'm curious if he comes out swinging this year. He's a risk taker behind the wheel of a car. He's going to put the car in positions that maybe some other drivers wouldn't. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. I'm curious what his mythology is going to be as he rolls into the 2021 season.
Obviously, Michael Jordan involved in the sport of NASCAR this year. What is that going to mean as far as exposure for the sport?
Well, you tell me. I mean, what an incredible story, right? One of the biggest athletes on the planet is investing in our sport. And I think that just speaks to, Bianchi, what we've been able to accomplish over the last 12 months. I think we certainly have elevated our position in professional sports. First sport back with live content at Darlington Raceway, and 2 months after the pandemic started. First sport back with fans in attendance, and we did that safely and at a number of our events in the second half of the year. We certainly tackled some social injustice issues. I think we did that the right way and led sports there. The esports initiatives that we had in 2020, when everybody was sitting at home, we were able to figure out how to capture an audience on television, and maybe that audience wouldn't have tuned in otherwise. And we're seeing the benefits of that. Michael Jordan wanting to invest in our sport. It was announced last week that Pitbull is also investing in our sport with driver Daniel Suarez. So there is a lot of really, really great storylines as we roll into 2021, and we're definitely riding the wave of momentum that we started to build in 2020.
Chip, a lot of people say that I look like Pitbull. What do you think?
You know what? That's crazy. So last night I was doing some research on him, and there's a picture of him, and I swear I thought it was you. The only difference is during commercial breaks, he's not doing push-ups like you.
All right, Chip, real quick, back to the Rolex 24. Give us a couple of storylines we should be looking for this week.
Well, I think certainly Chase Elliott coming down, our reigning Cup Series champion, jumping behind the wheel of a Action Express Cadillac is going to be a heck of a story. He's teamed up with Jimmy Johnson. I think those two will do great things. He's proven he knows how to get around a road course in a stock car. We'll see how we do with these lighter, more versatile cars this weekend. Just the star power that's here, I think, is going to be the storyline. You got Scott Dixon, Juan Pablo Montoya, obviously Jimmy Johnson and Chase Elliott. Austin Dillon's going to be back racing in the Rolex 24. So we have a lot of drivers that are coming down to try to get to victory lane, and I think that's a huge thing. 50 cars are entered into next Saturday's event, which last year we had 39. So car count's up. We're going to have a great weekend out here. We're welcoming fans from all over the world here, and we're going to do it safely. We are, the experience, as you know, you've been coming for a long time. The Rolex is really unique, and we want you to go and explore, and we tried the best we can, even through the pandemic, to provide that experience, but do it safely. So we will have the Ferris wheel here. We will have the fireworks, the taste of the 24, the benefits of NASCAR Foundation will happen on Saturday night. There's a lot of things to do and see, even through the pandemic. So encourage your listeners to come out and enjoy a great day at the racetrack next Saturday and Sunday. Tickets start at $68, so really inexpensive way to come out and enjoy the sights and the sounds of Daytona International Speedway. And like you said, to get tickets, DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
We are fired up about racing season. We're fired up about having Chip Weil, president of Daytona International Speedway, on the show. We will have him on more as the Daytona 500 nears. Chip Weil, we appreciate everything you do for us. Thank you, my friend.
All right, buddy. Have a good day. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com for tickets to all of the happenings at the Mecca of Speed. Straight ahead, Danny White. Oh, what a depressing story. Danny White's leaving UCF. He said UCF was the best AD job in America. What happened? We'll discuss and debate that next on Open Mic. Welcome back to Open Mic. I'm Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel, joined as always by Adam Reardon, the deceptive intellect, and of course Austin Pistolka, the Sultan of Sound.
Yeah.
Together we are Open Mic, the troika of sports talk radio excellence, right here in Central Florida in O-Town. What do we do for you? We provide you sports entertainment. We provide you information. We provide you opinions. And we provide you with the chance to win money. That's right. Twice a morning during our show at 7:10 a.m. and 8:10 a.m. We call it the Dash for Cash. We give you a chance to win $1,000. That's called appointment radio. So make an appointment to be listening at 7:10 a.m. and 8:10 a.m. every weekday morning because we want you to win cash. When you win cash, we get credit for it. It's the Dash for Cash presented by Miracle Toyota, where every day is a miracle. Check them out online at miracletoyota.com. The big story of the day in Central Florida yesterday and last evening was Danny White, the rock star athletics director at the University of Central Florida. He is leaving UCF for Tennessee. I wrote my column today at OrlandoSentinel.com. You can read that right now if you want.
Cheap plug.
Yeah. And one of the things I wrote in my column, the lead was, where is it? Danny White often told us over the years that being the athletics director at the University of Central Florida was, quote, the best AD job in America. He made us believe that building something at up-and-coming UCF was more worthwhile and more exciting than being an AD at some distressed, downtrodden Power 5 program. But on Thursday, White accepted a job at one of the most distressed, most downtrodden programs in all of Power 5. He accepted the AD job with the hapless, hopeless Tennessee Volunteers, who just fired their football coach, Jeremy Pruitt, and forced out AD Philip Fulmer amid a scandalous investigation involving a series of major NCAA recruiting violations. All right, so that's what I wrote to lead my column. And then I went on to talk about, does this mean that this is just a money grab for Danny White? Is he just like all the other huckster ADs and coaches who talk a good game when they're at a school like UCF, but ultimately they use UCF as a stepping stone job? Is that what this is? Because Danny White's going to be making a lot more money at Tennessee. He's reportedly got a 5-year deal, probably be making about $2 million a year, which is about twice what he's making at UCF. Is that what this is? Is this a money grab? I don't think so. I really don't. And again, I know it's easy to think that it's a money grab, but when you look at some of the jobs he's turned down in the past, he's had overtures from USC. I'm talking about Southern Cal, not South Carolina. Southern Cal, Georgia. He's had overtures. Ole Miss, Kansas. He's had some pretty big-time job offers, and he's turned them down in the past. I don't think this is about a money grab. I really don't. Will he be making more money? Yes. I think this is about, hey, there's nothing more I can do at UCF. We've gone to New Year's 6 bowl games. We finished in the top 10. There's nothing else for me to accomplish here. So I'm going to go find another downtrodden program in a bigger conference, the SEC, and I'm going to resurrect that program, and I'll be an even bigger rock star in the profession. That's what I think this is about. I think that's why he's leaving UCF. Let's face it, Adam Reardon. When Danny White cashes that, obviously UCF has had some budget issues over the years, and Danny White is a hell of a fundraiser. UCF's really going to miss that. But when Danny White goes to cash that $5 million American Athletic Conference TV check every year, all right, yeah, he can pay some of his bills with that $5 million, but guess what? He's going to be cashing a $50 million TV check from the SEC, and that's going up. So, again, this is about Danny White seeing I need to go to the next level if I want to accomplish what I want to accomplish.
We see it in coaches all the time. Think about Urban Meyer. Where was he before he was at Florida? He was at Utah. And I'm
Before
sure
Utah was a Power 5 program.
Right. And he was at Bowling Green before that. And guess what he probably says to, all the boosters when he's talking to them? This is a great place. I want to be here forever. Blah, 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 blah. Then a Power 5 job comes along that can offer more money and more opportunity, frankly. And you take it. This is life advancement. And I mean that with all due respect to UCF. But the Tennessee job, though it's very difficult today, the ceiling at Tennessee as an athletic department is greater than that of UCF because of some of the reasons you mentioned. UCF is getting a $5 million check for their football rights deal. Tennessee gets a $50 million check, and that doesn't take into account how good or bad your season. You're getting that money every year. So now he's got a bigger wallet to play with, and he's got more opportunity. By the way, he inherits a pretty good basketball program right now at Tennessee. The trick is now he's got to find the right guy and fix that football program. If you do that at a place like Tennessee, for as bad as they've been and for as loyal as that fan base is, you think he's a rock star here at UCF? Imagine what he'd be up in Knoxville.
Yeah, and what a rotten time this is to leave UCF. Again, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We know the financial crisis that all athletic programs are going through right now, but especially athletic programs not in the Power 5. Danny White was a phenomenal fundraiser at UCF. Now he's leaving. I'm sure he'll probably take some of his administrators with him from UCF. So UCF, man, they are going to be in some dire financial straits if the boosters decide, you know what, if Danny White's leaving, he was the guy who made me open up my wallet. So we'll see what happens, but this is a big, big body blow to UCF's athletics department. All right, let's pause for station identification.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, FM 96.9 The Game, the home of Orlando City Soccer Club. You feel that?
Oh, I can feel it.
We're about to blast off.
Just hook it to my veins!
It's time for the blast.
That's right, it's time for The Blast. The Blast brought to you by Frank Gay Services. You need an electrician or a plumber, and you need him now? Call Frank. You need to. Wow, I didn't have it up today. Wow. FrankGayServices.com is the place to go for all of your electric and plumbing needs. FrankGayServices.com. We start off with the open mic thought-provoking daily poll. What is the main reason athletics director Danny White is leaving UCF for Tennessee? Is it for more money? Is it a better job? New challenge? Or SEC, it just means more?
I don't know that it's... it has the potential to be a better job. I don't know if it's a better job right now, considering what Tennessee's going through. I'm going to go new challenge. Again, I think he realizes he's accomplished all he can accomplish at UCF. They're not going to the college football playoff. We know that. All they can do is go to New Year's Six bowl games and finish highly ranked and all of that. And they've already done that. And now that they've done that, UCF fans are spoiled. They think they should do that every year. So they've started to grumble a little bit. And I think Danny White maybe hears a little bit of that grumbling from the UCF Twitter mafia and says, you know what? I've done all I can do here. Let me go up to Tennessee, turn that program around, and they'll love me up there.
I'm going to go with D, all the above. I mean, there is enough in each of those that, I can see the argument being made for all of them. I think Tennessee's a better job ceiling-wise. By the way, he's making double what he's making today.
I don't think there was an all of the above.
Okay, then money. At the end of the day, I mean, the guy just and most of the time, if a school is paying you more than double what you're being paid right now, or any job, that's a better job. I don't care
then why didn't he leave before for
he must not have been he must not have been offered double what he was making at the time.
Okay. Right.
Well, from a caller, Danny White will finally get his home and home with Florida.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
37% of the vote says the SEC. It just means more.
Oh, God.
It's kind of all the above.
Supplemental poll number 1. Should Danny White's first move as the new AD of the Volunteers be to schedule a home-and-home series with UCF? Yes or no?
Absolutely, it should be. He's talked about this, the inequity of scheduling in college football, and these downtrodden Power 5 programs think that they deserve 2-for-1s when UCF is actually a better program than they are. This is Danny White's chance to actually say, you know what, UCF, you were good to me. Your program is better than the program I'm going to, Tennessee. So, yes, I'm going to schedule a home and a home because you deserve it.
I'm with you, Mike. Listen, when you walk out on your wife and your children in the middle of the night for a new
floozy
for some southern drawled woman out there, the least you can do is let them have the home and home series.
Nice.
There you go.
Well done.
There you go.
Well done. With 62% of the vote, yes wins this one.
Does anybody even say floozy anymore? What is a floozy?
Floozy is a loose,
like a
loose woman.
A loose woman. Yeah.
That's how that works?
How do you spell floozy? I'm gonna look up.
FLOOZIE.
I was like
ZY.
Oh, okay. Whatever. Supplemental poll number 2. Do you agree?
A gaudily dressed, usually immoral woman. Well, that's Tennessee. They're certainly immoral up there.
Yeah. I don't know about gaudily dressed, but poorly dressed up there. I've seen.
In dire need of dental work as well.
Jean shorts, jorts.
Supplemental poll number 2. Do you agree with Mike Bianchi that Mark Daniels should be the new AD at UCF?
When Danny White was hired 6 years ago, before he was hired 6 years ago, I wrote a column in the Orlando Sentinel saying Mark Daniels should be the AD at UCF. And I wasn't kidding. Mark Daniels is the smartest guy I know. He knows the ins and outs of UCF athletics more than anybody out there. He knows all the coaches. He knows all the big money boosters. He knows the business leaders and politicians in the city of Orlando. He cares about UCF sports. Guess what? If Mark Daniels were the UCF AD, he's not going to go to Tennessee, all right? Because he loves UCF. He would be here forever. He's already been here forever. He's been the radio voice for almost 3 decades now. Mark Daniels for AD.
Normally when Mike brings these things up, I scoff at them. Is the Tony Baselli job?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, listen, there's a guy who has this, connection to the school.
Yeah.
Maybe he could fit in this job that you wouldn't normally think of. This one makes sense only because I've gotten to know Mark a little bit, and everything he mentions is right about how intelligent he is, how much he cares about the program. And then here's the one thing I like most about Mark is Mark's a progressive thinker. Like Mark thinks about things sort of outside the box, and then once he brings those up to you, you go, "Huh, I never thought about that. That would work. And we need more people like that in these positions of power per se, that he can bring these ideas to the table and have some people go, all right, well, I've never thought about that either because we've always done it this way. Let's discuss that way. That sounds good. Listen. Normally, I don't co-sign Mike's endorsements for job. This one I would. I mean, wait, is he still going to work here though? I mean, is he still going to hang out with us?
There's no way.
No, he could still do his. He would want to promote the UCF athletic program. He could still do his radio shows
or anything. I know he already doesn't comment a lot on, but he'd comment even less on.
Yeah. By the way, record this segment, and we're going to send this to the school president, Mr. Cartwright. Maybe he'll listen to us.
Do you have his email?
I'll find it.
All right.
We were going to put it on cassette tape. I was just going to drop it off in the office.
With 56% of the vote, the fans aren't as nice as you guys. No.
No.
I don't want Mark Daniels. Probably because they just want to keep him as the play-by-play guy. Supplemental poll number 3. Now that Mackenzie Milton has been given full medical clearance to play football, is it a given that he will be the starting quarterback in Florida State's opener against Notre Dame? Yes or no?
Well, obviously, his mom texted me yesterday, said yes, he went up to the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota. The surgeon up there gave him clearance. Hey, you can play football. There's no reason you can't play football. So if that's the case and he goes through, fall practice and he doesn't get hurt, again, he hasn't had any contact yet. So we'll see what happens. But if he goes through fall practice and doesn't get hurt, I don't think there's any question Mackenzie Milton will be the starter when they play Notre Dame. But he has to get through fall practice healthy. If something happens with that knee, then of course not. But if he gets through fall practice healthy, yes, he will be the starter.
I was trying to think, what does Florida State have left at the quarterback position? It's just Chuba Purdy, I believe, is the young man who I think had a collarbone issue or something like that up there late in the season.
Yeah, but he came back and played some.
After. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't get the idea that he went somewhere where at least he didn't feel and or believe he would have the inside track as long as he was able to get cleared. So yeah, I mean. Yes, he if he's healthy, he'll be the guy.
With 62% of the vote, yes wins this one. Supplemental poll number 4. What is the best storyline in the NFL's Conference Championship weekend? Is it Tom Brady leading the Buccaneers? Is it the legacy of Aaron Rodgers? Is it that the Buffalo Bills are riding again? Or is it the Chiefs defending their championship? What is the best storyline, Mike Bianchi?
Well, this should be 99.9%. Now the Bills getting back to the Super Bowl and actually winning one this time, that would be a great storyline, but not like Tom Brady in his first year taking the Buccaneers to the Super Bowl, which by the way is going to be held in Tampa. This should be 99.9% Tom Brady.
I agree with him. 99% Tom Brady. And then for me, 1% Aaron Rodgers, his legacy. If he can win a second Super Bowl, that's sort of the standard for hey, that guy's a great quarterback. He's done it more than once. That would be huge for him.
With 61% of the vote, Brady leads the Bucs, wins this one. That's it. 23% comes in second place is the Bills ride again.
That's a good storyline if the Bills can get back to the Super Bowl. But again, they would actually have to win. If they got back to the Super Bowl and lost again, I mean, their reputation as all-time Super Bowl losers is then cemented.
Yeah, so we're comparing stories about Tom Brady being the all-time winner and or the potential of the Bills being the all-time loser.
Yeah, nice.
The winner.
Just don't let Marv Levy Is Marv Levy still with us, by the way?
I don't know.
No idea.
Don't let Marv Levy anywhere near Tampa if the Bills are in the Super Bowl.
How about this? How about the Bills in Tampa where it was Scott Norwood who missed that kick against the Giants?
Ooh.
Is that where the Super Bowl was?
It was, because that was Whitney Houston belting out the national anthem.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would
She's not with us.
No, she's not. No, she's not.
What if Marv Levy's still with us and Whitney Houston's not? From that
I gotta
Super
look
Bowl
up
25.
Marv Levy now. He's still with us. He's still with us.
Wow.
Super Bowl 25. Marv Levy's still with us. Whitney Houston not.
Wouldn't have taken that bet.
Wouldn't have had that bet back then.
Marv Levy, age 95.
Wow.
Yeah, born August 3rd. He was old when he coached the Bills.
He was.
Back in the, anyway. All right, straight ahead.
Hold on one second. We didn't do the Would You Rather poll, and what do you mean, what?
Why did you turn the music? Wasn't there music playing?
We run out of bedtime, Mike. You guys talk a lot. Finally, the Would You Rather poll. Would you rather appear in an episode of Cops or an episode of Catfish?
I've never seen either, so...
What? Oh, come on!
No, never seen either.
I watch Catfish religiously. It's a great show.
It is a great show.
Is that where you get catfished?
Yeah.
Yes. That's when you get Monte Te'o?
Yeah, yes. But listen, but let me say this. If you're ever on that show, you deserve it. Either of those shows, you deserve it. Because if you fall in love with somebody you've only seen pictures of and never spoken to them on the phone, no video chat, no meeting, no nothing, you deserve all the heartache you can get.
I'll go I'll go catfish because it seems like you're not doing anything illegal there, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas cops, you're probably doing something illegal, right?
Probably.
I'll go catfish as long as the part of the story I'm in is like somebody was using my pictures to lure. Like,
No, you're the victim.
Oh, I'm
You're
the
the
victim.
victim.
You're the victim. Absolutely, you're the victim.
No, I'd rather be on cops.
60% of the vote says cops, and the blast is brought to you by Frank Gay Services. A live operator is waiting for you, and a licensed plumber is ready to help today with a solution to your problem fast. That's the Frank Gay way. FrankGayServices.com.
Speaking of the Buffalo Bills, the #1 Buffalo Bills fan in Orlando, Jamie Say, WKMG News 6 sports director, will join us next for the Pigskin Picks. But first, your chance at $1,000.
Introducing
The reigning, defending, undisputed,
the Open Mic Football Picks Champion, Sports Director for WKMG, Jamie Say.
You can watch Jamie Say report the sports news on WKMG News 6, 6, and 11 every weekday. Saturday night, of course, is her must-watch TV show After the Whistle, 11:35 p.m. to midnight, where she breaks down all the sports happenings, the big games, the conference championship games. I'm wondering if she's going to talk about UCF AD Danny White bolting for Tennessee on that After the Whistle. Are you, Jamie Say?
We sure will. Yeah, Ryan Welch and I will talk about what it means for UCF, kind of guess why the move was right, why the time was right for Danny to move on, and what he's facing as he takes on the Tennessee job, when he gets up there to Knoxville. So, yeah.
I wonder, Jamie Say, all right, I'm a bit cynical, all right? I wonder if Danny White thought to himself, all right? Okay, so we've gone to 2 New Year's 6 bowl games. We had the 25-game unbeaten streak, but the last couple of seasons not really up to what our fans expect now. The fans are starting to grumble a little bit about Josh Heupel, about Randy Shannon, about the football program's not where it should be. I wonder if Danny White said, now's a good time to go take over another downtrodden program where they'll be happy with just about anything.
Well, I think it's still Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's still Tennessee. And if he can turn that program around, that's huge. But this is what I think. I think in sports and with motivated individuals, one of the keys is not getting comfortable. He spent 5 years here and was probably becoming very comfortable here. I mean, his fundraising was great. He knew who he could go to. He hired great coaches. Teams are winning. But it's always like the winners in sports are the ones that get out of that comfort zone. And I think we all know that Danny is extremely motivated. And that's why I think he thought the time was right. And this is a major challenge, and he's going to be well compensated for taking on this major challenge too. So that's what I think. I think it's just in Danny that, it was time to move on after 5 years in one place. We see it in sports all the time. And then I think I read somewhere that, he's got a good relationship with the Manning family. Maybe he had consulted with Peyton about the situation. Maybe he felt comfortable with the school president, when they talked and everything. And maybe that's how he knew that Tennessee was the right place.
Jamie, you just mentioned the whole comfort thing. One of the greatest quotes I've ever coined. You want to hear it?
Yes, I do.
Comfort is the cancer of ambition.
You coined that phrase?
I did. Yeah. Well,
yeah, I mean, then it comes down to self-motivation, because when you're in a comfort zone, sometimes your routine, sometimes your daily stuff becomes routine, and then it's all about how can I be better today at what I'm doing.
Austin, can you put that quote on my Wikipedia page, Austin? I don't know how to do that.
Put that at the very top.
That's one of my quotes I coined. That's
Orlando
one of my
Sentinel columnist coined phrase cancer. Yeah, that
Yeah.
I'll get right on that.
What Austin said. I like that one better.
Something about cancer. Don't be comfortable. There.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's do the pigskin pick, shall we?
All right, let's do it.
That's right, it is time for the pigskin picks. And last week, Jamie correctly picked the Packers to cover against the Rams, and she picked the Browns to cover against the Chiefs. That was enough for her to win the week by 1 pick. What does that mean? It means she's leading the overall picks by an unconquerable 6 picks, and she's leading the week-to-week tally by 2. Since we only have 2 weeks and 3 games left, all Bianchi can do is hope to tie in the week-to-week tally, which means Jamie is already the Pigskin Picks champion for the third time in 4 years.
Austin, I appreciate that.
Hold on. Hold on.
Wait, you're shushing me and I'm the champion?
Yeah. Well, I want to stage a protest here real quick. All right?
Protest?
And the protest is this. If you'll remember last week, Jamie, when the Browns-Chiefs pick came up, all right? And the Chiefs were favored by, what were they favored by? Like 7.5 or something last week. So that pick came up, and you went first, all right? And you know I'm a Brownies fan, so you picked the Browns. And I even said, those are my Brownies. I want to pick the Brownies, but because you just picked the Brownies, you're forcing me to pick the Chiefs, even though I thought the Brownies were going to cover, all right? So, and if you'll check the Orlando Sentinel last Thursday before we made our picks, I actually picked the Browns in print. So I'm saying that I should get credit for the Browns, which means we would have tied last week in the week-to-week picks, which means you would only be winning by 1 week, which means I would still have a chance to win the week-to-week picks, which means I'm going to throw it on the mercy of the judge, Austin Pistol.
Man, let me talk.
Okay. All right.
Okay. For the last 3 weeks, you've pulled these stunts. So you know what? There was a game that I picked incorrectly back in October, and I want to change my pick because I didn't mean to pick that one. Okay, Austin, help me out here. Look, Mike, you could have picked the Browns last week. I don't care. You could have picked the Browns last week, but you didn't do it on the radio. I don't care what you write in the newspaper. And had you done a better job picking games throughout the season, you wouldn't have been in that position anyway. So I don't accept your argument. But here's the thing, Mike. Here's the thing. If this competition means that much to you that you have to cheat, I'll just forfeit. It's not a big deal.
Whoa!
Is that what you want? Because you make these arguments every week. I'll just forfeit.
If you want,
not a big deal.
If you want to forfeit, that'd be great. Yeah, I'll take that. Absolutely.
All right, I forfeit. You're the champion.
No.
I don't care.
Yes. Okay.
All I'm doing is picking the Bills this week because that's what I'm going to do. And the rest, I'm just going to enjoy. I'm going to enjoy the Super Bowl. You're the champion, Mike. You enjoy that.
Oh, so now she's going to make me feel guilty.
Oh, no, I'm not going to make you feel guilty. I don't care.
I don't care. She's acting like it doesn't matter to her that she's the picks champion and all of that. Okay.
This is what I get to deal with. I come on your show, I beat you in your competition, and then you make fun of me.
Oh my
and
gosh.
you analyze my behavior.
Wow.
I mean, just whatever. Just
don't act like you don't. Don't act like you don't care about being the picks champion. We all know you do.
I do care, but it obviously. But I do care. I'm proud that I was able to beat you so handily. That was 2 weeks ago. I already won. But I mean, it bothers you so much that you have to make up rules as you go along.
Oh
Austin?
my gosh. Okay.
Austin?
There's a lot to unpack here. Here's the deal. I come from the world of pro wrestling, and nobody wants to see a match that doesn't have any stakes to it. So guess what? For the first time all season long, I will agree with Mike Bianchi.
Yes!
For competitive reasons, we are making the switch from last week, which means he can only win the week-to-week if he correctly does it all. He's got to get all 3 correct.
Damn right!
Oh, goodness.
I'm back!
I'm starting to regret this decision. Let's get to the picks.
No, I forfeit. I'm not doing it.
No forfeits allowed. I will not accept your forfeit.
What?
I forfeit.
This is the worst thing that has ever happened on this show.
Not accepting.
I forfeit.
All right, well, let's pick the games.
Jamie Say picks the Bills. Mike, who do you pick? 3 point favorites for the Chiefs.
Chiefs are 3-point favorites. I'm going with Jamie Say's Bills because I think they're the best team in the AFC, and I've thought that for about 4 or 5 weeks now.
Okay. NFC Championship game. It's the Buccaneers at the Packers. Packers are 3.5-point favorites. Jamie Say, would you like to take a stab at it?
Man, I really don't care who wins the game. Go ahead.
Who would you rather see your Bills play in the game? How about that?
Either one, it doesn't matter. No, so I forfeit this selection. So, Mike, just pick who you're going to pick. I'm not making a pick.
So she forfeits, so she loses, so I just need to pick the winner. Here. Turn on the money machine.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Money. We all know Jamie Say's not forfeiting because I refuse the forfeit. All right? I refuse that. I'm going to win this fair and square, and I'm a big believer. That's right. I'm a big believer in destiny. I'm a big believer in fate. And I believe when Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay, he knew that fate would have it that Tampa was hosting the Super Bowl and that this would cement his legacy as the greatest GOAT of all time, even greater than Michael Jordan. All right? Tom Brady, free money, free stuff. He leads Tampa Bay all the way to the Super Bowl. They win this game against the Packers at Lambeau Field.
I wouldn't mind seeing Tampa Bay make it all the way because I have a lot of friends who root for the Buccaneers, and I'd be happy for them. As for you, Mike, good luck. I'll pray for you. I hope you win the competition.
Jamie Say, we will catch you after the whistle. Now
right,
I feel guilty.
You should.
Have a great weekend, guys, and thanks for having me. It's fun as always.
That was the greatest 15 minutes of this show has ever had.
You know what? I'm still accepting your ruling. I think we have a competition here. Sorry. I'm taking it.
Right? You got it. I mean, if you don't take it, you lose.
All right, up next, we'll get Mark Daniels' take